Okay, I want to move on to analytical challenges. We're going to talk first about autologous. And Omkar, I'd like to ask you, what are some of the approaches to control variability of the raw materials for the autologous products?
Yeah, so I'll actually start off with an answer that may be applicable to both auto and allo. And this is something a partner at the firm, Amit Agarwal, and I have been talking about for a while, which is for your raw materials, you typically have an external supplier or vendor or a network of supplier or vendors, right? And you would provide them with release testing and analytical testing criteria, right? And that's part of the contract that they do. But to take it one step further, we've actually had and consulted companies or our partners to say that you would also have the supplier or the vendor sign up to address whatever root causes are problematic with your batch to batch variability. So to a point that Donna mentioned earlier about reagents and raw materials, or even lentiviral vector, for example, right? If I'm not receiving the expected results from lentiviral transduction in my batches, you as a supplier will need to work with me, and that's going to be detailed out in the contract, right? That partnership, that transparency in the communication, and that painfully detailed evaluation process, like the FMEA analysis I told you about earlier, like that is the only way to get both parties have their skin in the game and address these variabilities. And we can get, depending on time, we can get more detail as well as to how we've seen some of this turn out. Secondly, again, something that Donna mentioned about critical quality attributes, right? The CQAs. The CQAs are tied to your clinical response because, excuse me, if you are able to actually pinpoint on those CQAs that do tie to your clinical response or your final batch yield, you can sort of forward engineer how your process or how your sourcing of those material is going to change. And that can drive towards minimizing raw material driven variability, which is the question that you were referring to.